Good evening, everyone. Mick here in the Yaris tonight at Donnington. Just filled up with fuel. Gonna try my best and set GoPros up, but I'm a bit useless with them, to be honest. But looking forward to taking it on track. It's first time that we're doing on track. We're about 500 miles into it now, so should be good fun. Although what should be quite entertaining is we've not done the towing eye yet, so I need to try and do that when we get there and get on for us. Sighting laps at 5:30 and sign on, so it's about 5 o'clock now, so it might be a bit tight. But yeah, hope you enjoy the videos that'll be coming up, and give it a like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Managed to sort the towing eye at the front. It was meant to be quite complicated on the forum groups, but we've literally just pulled it off and in it goes, which helps, because if you get stuck in gravel without one, they literally just attach it to whatever and pull you out, which can mess up your car. So yeah, thankfully that's been sorted. So we've done, well, I've done the sighting laps, did 3 of them, that were fine. There were another set of sighting laps to go out because there's quite a few booked on, and now this oil spilt on the track and something need lifting off. So we're now just sat chilling, and my dad's going to jump out now. We're just putting tyre pressures down a bit. They've got up to 35. We should have done them before at about 28, but we ran out of time, so dropping them down to 30 now to see if that makes any difference, because they're getting hot quick. Cool. Sticking it in 4-wheel drive track mode. Thank you for watching. I thought I'd do a little bit of a voiceover on this to save making the video about 20 minutes long and a lot longer than it should need to be. So yeah, in the Yaris GR with the circuit pack at Donnington on a beautiful summer's evening, doing the evening session. Normally choose to do the evening sessions. I find the full days a little bit too long and draining. Driving on track, I find it really draining. So do 20-minute stints, and 3 hours is normally more than enough. And tonight obviously shared the driving with my old man. So apologies on the lack of footage. I've got like a 10-minute clip which I managed to get recorded on my phone. I always seem to have GoPro issues. John tries to set it up for me, but tonight for whatever reason the SD card wouldn't work, which seems to be quite a reoccurring theme whenever I try to do stuff. So I used the mega mount on my phone, which was a little bit tricky because it kept kind of sliding from one side to another, but managed to get, I think, about 10 minutes of footage towards the end of the evening when the majority of people were either in the pits or had gone home, so it was really quiet, which was the best time. That's quite typical for track days that I've done early doors. It's busy, and then towards the end it does get a little bit quieter. So a little bit further on I'll do some talking on kind of gears and the track, and what I think I did well and maybe what areas I could improve on, because there's always definitely a lot of areas for me to improve on when I'm on track. So as you probably already know, Yaris GR in the standard white colour from Toyota Chesterfield. Picked it up with my dad roughly around about 2 weeks ago, so it was about 500 miles in before the track day. I read on a few forums, quite a few people have kind of ran them in. But from speaking to the bloke at Toyota, he said as long as the engine's warm, just crack on and get out and have a blast, which is what we've done. So yeah, done a couple of B roads out in Derbyshire so far where it seems incredible. My old man's got a 718 Spider, so that's obviously got a lot more power up at the top. But obviously with the Yaris having the turbo in the tight, twisty stuff, the Yaris feels just as quick, and obviously feels like a lot more grip going around the bends with the 4-wheel drive. So yeah, 1.6 litre turbocharged 3-cylinder engine with 257 brake horsepower. It tops out at about 144, but I think you need quite a bit of road to get it up to that 144. 1250 kilograms in weight, although it's probably had another 100 in that when I'm driving it. So yeah, it comes with the circuit pack, which is 18-inch alloys, which we've changed for some cool looking white rally ones, but they had about 2 kilograms of wheel, but that don't really make much difference when you've got the driving ability that I have, and they look really cool, to be honest with you. Yeah, they look cool. So the red brake calipers come with the circuit pack, the GR suspension, and something called the front and rear Torsen LSD, which I'm not even going to pretend to know what that is or what that does. Something far too complicated for my brain to comprehend. And comes with the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres, which are pretty good as well. So yeah, prior to the track day, as you saw earlier with the tyres, because we were running a little bit late, we left it as standard what was in there. So after the first session, they got far too hot, so they were up to about 35 psi. So I took that down to about 30, which made difference. It was just absolutely shredding the tyres at first with them getting too hot, so lowered that down a little bit, which seemed to help. It's what's quite strange coming away from Donnington in the Yaris, because it's such a fast-paced circuit. It's not really the perfect place for the Yaris. Up to 100, the Yaris is obviously really quick with the turbo, and then 100 onwards it kind of dips off a bit, but that's to be expected with a 1.6 litre engine. It still feels quite surreal that it's a 1.6 litre engine. So spent the majority of the evening in track mode, 4-wheel drive, which felt incredible. It's hard to know if I've like driven well, or if the car's just done everything for me. Because even with the 4-wheel drive and the grip, if you come into a bend with slightly the wrong line, or you might be going a little bit too quick or a little bit too slow, you can either put your foot down and it just grips, or that slight little lift off and it still just absolutely grips. So you come away not knowing if I've drove really well or if the car's just absolutely incredible and makes me feel a lot smoother and better than I am. So towards the end, right at the very end, after probably 4 or 5 20-minute sessions, the brakes got spongy, and then I think the fluid fully boiled coming into the hairpin that it's just about to get to now on the video. So took it a little bit steady, and then was coming towards one of the right-handers a little bit further round, and the brakes fully went. But that was literally about 10 minutes before the end of the session anyway. So I think it's, I'm not sure how many miles exactly it's done. It's maybe like 650, 700, something like that. We'll get the oil changed and put in some racing fluid. That made quite a lot, racing brake fluid. That seemed to make a lot of difference on the Spider when we were using that. Took that on a European tour, and the brake fluid were getting hot early doors. So yeah, changed that for racing fluid, which seemed to make all the difference. So yeah, have a bash about talking you through the lap. So flat obviously down here, brake roughly about this zone. Turning at the end of the grass, clip the apex, and then run wide as you put the floor in, into 4th gear. Start to move over to the right, getting tighter here. Still flat at the moment, and then a slight lift, and then roll in. Back on the accelerator, and then brake hard in a straight line. 3rd gear, clip the apex, run wide. Straight into 4th, normally flat through here, but this car slows us down a little bit, so still flat in 4th, still flat, a little bit of a lift off as you come into the left-hander, then back on the power, get the car back straight, brake hard, turn in 3rd gear, clip the apex, again run wide, coming up to the blind right-hander. I'm not very good at this corner, so I've not got much advice to give, but 3rd gear, clip there, and then start to run wide. If you hit the apex there on the right and stay to the right, it's the wrong line. So yeah, 4th gear, and then moving up to 5th, start to brake, down into 3rd, go a little bit wide, cut the corner in. I need to take this one better because I take a little bit too much of the apex there, but anyway, yeah. Down into the Melbourne loop, obviously flat through this bit. Normally would be a bit quicker and brake a little bit later than the Beamer in front, which held us up a little bit. But yeah, 2nd gear, roll in, get the nose in, and then get back on the power, run wide, flat 2nd, into 3rd, obviously flat. A better driver might be able to get into fourth up here and go a little bit quicker, but yeah, brake card, I'm not the best at this corner either. I was doing a mixture of second and third, and I was following the bend a little bit too much and not getting a good exit onto the straight. But yeah, that was my lap. Me and the old man, so yeah, cracking evening with the old man. Lucky to be in position to be able to drive some of his cars, and there's the wheels that I mentioned, which look really cool. So yeah, great evening. Yeah, great evening at Donnington. It's one of my favourite circuits. And just to finish, we wanted to see what we could get the MPG down for, so I got it down to 9.1. But yeah, thank you for watching. Feel free to comment, questions, advice, specifically advice if you've got any ways that you think you could make me a little bit quicker, or any questions or anything. If you could give us a subscribe, that'd really help as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Cheers.